morning, and thank you for joining us on After GMS. I'm Tracy McCain here with Megan Maleris and Ed Matthews. Hope you guys are doing well.
Welcome, friends. Already some regulars tuning in, as you always do. We appreciate you, and we appreciate a good forecast from Ed Matthews. Getting better this week, warmer, and then a big plunge.
Yeah, brighter and warmer. That's going to be the case over the next few days. But if we look at our high point weather cam this morning, we're still seeing a lot of cloud cover across the area this morning. Very gradually, as we head through the afternoon, we'll start to see a little more in the way of sunshine, and then the trend will be for more sunshine tomorrow and on into Thursday and Friday. And once we get the sun back, temperatures are going to warm up pretty nicely. This little pesky area of low pressure that's been hugging the North Carolina coast in recent days is finally starting to slowly move away, and that's going to give us some clearing. Not a bright sunny afternoon. It's not going to happen, but we're going to see at least more in the way of sunshine as we go through the day, kind of a mix of sun and clouds late afternoon and evening. Cold front dying out to our west, so I just make it disappear on the surface weather map. High pressure builds in. That's going to set the stage for more sunshine for the rest of the week. Temperatures will warm up nicely after low and mid 70s today. We're looking at low 80s tomorrow and Thursday, and by Friday, temperatures may actually warm into the mid 80s, and you see that on our 7-day. The rest of the week is going to be really nice once we kind of scour out these clouds. And then on Saturday, cold front approaches, brings a few showers in the afternoon and evening, and behind that front, really much chillier air pours into the Piedmont for Sunday and early next week. Highs will be around 70, and by Monday morning, we're looking at lows dropping into the mid and upper 40s, so get ready for that.
Yeah, people on our timeline here already asking for sunshine, which unfortunately we did not see any of that yesterday.
We did not.
Not at all. Like not even a sliver.
No. Clouds were just too thick.
It's dreary.
Well, today is National Savings Day. It's a day when you're encouraged to find ways to save or cut back on items you don't need so you can tuck away some of that extra cash.
So go ahead and drop a comment here on our feed. How do you and your family save money? Do you coupon? Do you invest? Do you do something like Dave Ramsey? While you drop your responses, listen to this. The finance experts at nerdwallet.com had some suggestions, and they're really applicable to an ongoing pandemic.
Yeah, here's some of them here. You can find an app that takes the work out of it. Apps including Digit and Capital both automatically transfer small amounts from your checking account to a separate savings account. You can also start collecting extra change you might have around the house.
You can also prep for grocery shopping. That means take a survey of what's already in your pantry, in your fridge, and your freezer, and how you can make the most of those items. What do you really need? Experts say creating a list will help prevent impulse buying. So back to our question here on our feed. How do you save? I asked the question on my Facebook page earlier. Pamela said she cuts coupons and tried to save money for big ticket items. She said we pay cash and put the change in a jar and usually have a few $100s at the end of the year. Jean says always pay yourself first. Savings are essential. You never know. It's great to see your money grow. Always invest with your employer if they offer things like 401k, for example, and matching percentage. Live within your means and put your raises into your 401k instead.
Well, some of you shared the ways you save via text. Reggie said he uses two methods. He said he saves any $1 or $5 bills at the end of each day, and he pays himself 25% off of his income right off the top. Not a bad idea. He said it really adds up and it's easy. And he said it's kind of like a game. Interesting. So Lydia said she was such a great saver before COVID, but she said sadly she turned into an emotional shopper during the pandemic. She said it fulfilled her need for hope and happiness. All right, so how do you save? Let us know in the comment section. We're gonna start up a little conversation among these three here, and then we'll get to our comments here in just a bit. So Ed, how do you save?
Well, I'm a very frugal person by nature, and I was taught that by my parents growing up, and I'm just not a person that needs a lot of stuff. I'm not the kind of person that goes out and buys a the latest brand new gadget or anything like that. My cell phone is 5 years old and it's still working fine, and so I have no plans to trade that or anything. So just being frugal with my shopping, and usually if I'm looking at something in a store, I'll ask myself the question, do I really need this? And you know, a lot of the times the answer is a big fat no. Also, I like to cook, so I don't eat out a lot. I do enjoy eating out, and but that's kind of a treat. I do it so infrequently. And just saving, looking for bargains. I don't clip coupons or anything like that, but always in the supermarket tend to navigate towards the store brand of items because they are cheaper, and quite frankly they were probably, you know, packaged in the same factory as the big name, more expensive stuff.
Yeah, I kind of give myself a self-check. I'm like, do I need it? If I need it, then, you know, I'll go ahead and buy it. If I don't need it, you know, I'll wait for a sale, or, you know, I'll see if there's a coupon somewhere. There's always some type of discount somewhere, whether it's saving on shipping or whatever it is. So I usually look for a sale or some type of discount. And I also save everything. I save clothes, I save shoes. Until my feet got larger, I was wearing the same shoes. But, you know, I still have clothes from 2001 from my first TV job that I wore then, that I'm still wearing now, and I just kind of cycle it out, which also helps my waistline, because then I guarantee I'm not going to, you know, continue to experiment too much with food.
I rewear clothes a lot too. I really have not bought a lot for myself in the past couple years. Just been so busy and buying all the baby clothes and stuff too. You know, it all adds up. In my family, my husband and I were big savers. We try not to overspend. We try to buy only what we need, and we're pretty organized in making lists for things like the grocery store. Even started a list for Christmas. Our son's birthday is like back to back with Christmas, so it's really important to kind of type it out, see like what we're thinking, and then how much is it all going to cost. And the other day I put some of those items in a cart so I could see the total amount, and that kind of really puts it in perspective too, instead of buying one item at a time and you don't realize how much it's costing. I love what one viewer suggested about making sure you're taking advantage of your company's 401k if that's offered. Normally they do something like a match, so you want to make sure you're maximizing that if you can right now. It will pay off later. Sometimes I know it's hard to set aside that money every month, take it out of your paycheck, but if you can do it, that is a great way to invest wisely.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and it's so easy now. I mean, some checking accounts have this automatic thing where they round up your dollars and put it in a savings account. I mean, there are all these different ways, and obviously 401ks, but if you're saving for college, you know, there's certain funds that will match amounts and get you to that goal a lot faster. So it's just kind of takes some research, or if you know someone who is very savvy in investments, you know, talk with them and see how you can make your money work for you. That way you don't have to work more, you can just work smarter. That's kind of what I try to do.
Yeah, great tips there. We're seeing several of your responses here coming in on our feed. Kim Smith said, understand your needs versus your wants. There is a fine line there. That's a great point. Let's see. We also heard some comments. Let me scroll back up here. Joanne said, shopping, 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 comparing prices, no impulse buying. So I think she means shopping around for the best prices on things. We like to do that too. Kim says, tithe first, budget, and live within her means.
Yeah, I love that. You know, I mean, as long as you have your priorities in order and you know where you want your money to go, it makes, you know, impulse buying less of a possibility, because you're like, nope, this is where my money's going this week and this is what I want to spend it on. And I'm not an impulse buyer. I just don't. I always have a plan going in place. Now, if something happens where, you know, I get a flat, something unexpected, you know, I want to have that money ready to go instead of like being like, oh, I'm kind of stuck, you know, but that can happen.
It's so funny. My husband likes to buy in bulk. I've seen a couple comments here. One from Bobby who says he likes to do the same thing at one of the big box stores that sells in bulk. And at first when I married my now husband, I thought, why is he buying in bulk? It's just the two of us. We don't have space for all this stuff like toilet paper, paper towels, you know, disinfectant wipes. Well, a couple years later, come the pandemic, we were glad to have all that stuff. And really, it does save money if you can find the storage space and buy smartly. You know, it pays off in the long haul.
Yeah, and bulk when you have more people,
right? Yeah,
pays off,
right?
in adequate ways. So.
Add a couple kids in the mix.
Yeah, exactly. Don't worry, you'll be using Costco a lot more. Yeah. Carol says it's the only place she shops, and I told her, I'm like, we probably have seen each other at some point because I'm there all the time. Jessica said she is cheap when it comes to herself. $20 is a lot for jeans or shoes, but she has no problem spending $200 on shoes for her kids. So I know it feels like the kids always get the new stuff and you kind of just pick over things for yourself, but I buy new things for like my kids, but usually they'll recycle and go through. Like just Julian is now wearing the same exact things that Josiah wore at his age. I mean, I'm so glad because that's a whole bunch of money I didn't have to spend.
Yeah, and still in fine condition.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Might as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, Julian doesn't know that they're secondhand.
Oh no, he's just happy. He's like, what's up, man? What's going on? All right, guys, so we're gonna have another conversation for you guys in just a few minutes, and it has to do with this weather that you guys are already kind of commenting on.
Yeah, so go ahead and keep weighing in. We do have some headlines to get to, including a developing story here in Greensboro. So let's get right to it. Greensboro police are investigating a shooting on Stockton Way. Police say 2 people were shot and went to the hospital. Our crew on scene also saw officers investigating nearby on Old Traybrook Drive. Unclear if there's any connection. We still have limited information about what happened, but we know this started around 5:15 this morning. It's in the location just behind the Elmsley Street Walmart. If you're familiar with that area, very busy area during the morning especially. So we'll keep you updated on this on WFMYnews2.com. A section of South Elm Eugene Street is back open this morning after an officer-involved shooting near Vandalia Road. Chief Brian James says it happened during a traffic stop when a passenger in the car tried to run away and raised a gun toward an officer who chased him. Investigators say at that point the officer fired back. The suspect has non-life-threatening injuries. The officer was not hurt and is on administrative leave, which is protocol in officer-involved shootings.
Triad school leaders might get help from the state on how to make schools safer. Today, Governor Roy Cooper is speaking at a task force for Safer Schools meeting around 10 this morning. You can watch it on the News 2 Facebook page, and we'll keep you updated on WFMYnews2.com. Well, today the city of Winston-Salem will consider bonuses to get its workers vaccinated against COVID. $1,000 for full-time workers, $500 for part-time workers, but they would have to get a COVID vaccine within 6 weeks of the new rule taking place. If they do wait longer than that, the incentive drops to $500 or $200 depending on their job. Workers who do not get vaccinated will just have to get tested weekly for COVID, at least for the first 4 weeks. Right now, this is a proposal.
Okay, so let's get to our second talker already. Some comments coming in. We all know how quickly the weather can change in North Carolina. One day it's hot, one day it's downright cold.
Yeah, it's like Katy Perry's song.
I'm not going to see it. I
was waiting. I could see it.
I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
Okay. Sometimes if you're just quiet long enough, it will happen.
We need Christian Morgan here, the real musician.
Okay. Well, we'll see if we can trick Megan later. But anyway, we're seeing this all play out here in the Triad every single day so far this fall. It's really been an interesting day to probably forecast for you, Ed Matthews. We do have a warm up coming up this week and followed by some cool air. So we're asking you guys, which one are you looking forward to? Is it the warm up or the cool down that you prefer?
I'm just looking forward to the sunshine. Hopefully that's an acceptable answer.
Yeah.
Okay, while you go ahead and leave a comment here, check out what Utah State University students are seeing outside their windows this morning in Logan. Look at all the snow covering the trees, the sidewalks. Looks beautiful. Just a few blocks from campus, you can see it really coming down. And it wasn't as heavy here, but some flakes covered the ground and cars in Flagstaff, Arizona last night.
Well, that is not the case here at home, and thank goodness. Yes, there is a cool down ahead, but no, there is no snow headed our way. Not in October anyway. Chief Meteorologist Tim Buckley shared this post online. He said, heads up, a major cold front will swing through Saturday night, bringing a blast of fall air back to the Carolinas. This will wipe out any humidity and drop our highs back to the upper 60s and lows back to the upper 40s. Sunday will be the first day it feels different, and it will last for a while. So before that happens, we want to know which one you're looking forward to. Not that you can change it at this point because it's happening, but do you want the warm up or the cool down? And while you're typing, I'm going to start with Ed Matthews here because you make this make sense in your meteorological way here. This is kind of what we see in October, right?
Right on schedule. You know, we're not far away from the month of November, and this is exactly what we expect. We expect these cold fronts to move down out of Canada, and each one bringing a shot of cooler air. And as we move closer to the winter months, that air just gets chillier and chillier. And then, of course, as we head into the winter, when we get one of these fronts to move through, it's just going to get downright frosty cold. But, I don't mind. I love warm weather. I don't like hot weather. I don't mind cool weather, but I don't like cold weather. So that's the reason I love, the fall season so much. We have kind of these ups and downs in the temperatures. It'll warm up for a few days like we're going to have coming up over the next few days, but not hot weather. And then the cool down, this weekend. I love them both as long as we don't have extremes either way.
Sometimes the extremes are in a span of just 12 to 24 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a different season when you wake up in the morning and when you leave for work. It's totally different, and you're dressed a different way, or you feel like you need to. I would be okay if we had upper 70s, low 80s with at least low humidity all fall. I think that is perfect. I know that's a little warm for some of your tastes, but I just think we need this like slower transition toward winter, and going from 90s and humidity in the summer to just cold is hard. It's a shock to the system.
I think that's the thing about North Carolina is there's never really a transition.
Yeah.
It's always like we're waiting, and then it's here, and then it's gone. It's just like, what happened? But some people, like Carol, are opposite of you and I, Megan. She is waiting for snow.
What?
And she's already asking Ed Matthews to please deliver. She also said LOL. So you have to laugh a little bit with her on this one. But she said she hopes that we can see some snow. Christy said, I love fall, not too hot, not too cold. She likes spring too. Cynthia said the cooler weather is perfect because it's great running weather. Tamarika said she likes the warm up, doesn't want to have to start and keep a fire. Yeah, I agree. Bobby said in the mid 60s during the day and 50s at night. That's a little chilly for me. But Cherie said sunshine every day with comfortable weather in the 70s. And I think she hit it right on the nose. Yeah. Yesterday, I don't know if the temperatures got to 70, Ed, because it was the clouds just never gave way.
Yeah, the official high at the airport was 70 yesterday. Now, once we get the sun back, that's the reason we anticipate the big warm up over the next few days. But very interestingly, and Tracy, you're aware of this as well, having grown up in North Carolina, I mean, we can just have all kinds of weather during the winter months. It can be bitter cold. And then a few days later, it's 70 degrees. Now, we don't have a lot of those 70-degree days, but I remember December and on into January and February, we can have a day or two where the temperature is warm into the 60s to around 70, but also I remember days when it never got out of single digits as well. So, we can have a little bit of everything, and it really is a challenge to forecast all that. I'm not whining. I mean, I love a challenge, but especially forecasting, winter weather and how moisture and cold air and warm air, how they're going to mix and what precipitation types we can have and all that. I have seen it snow in Winston-Salem rain in High Point, and it's not doing anything in Greensboro. So, you know, over that short distance, you can have such a variety of weather, but it keeps weather forecasters and meteorologists, keeps us on our toes for sure, but we do appreciate and love the challenge.
It also keeps HVAC and heating companies very busy, you know, because of the back and forth. I'm sure a lot of our viewers here haven't even turned on their heat yet, but they certainly will this weekend. So Ed, do you think that once we turn this corner with this cold front moving in, we're at least going to stay a little more consistently cool for the rest of the month, or is it really hard to say?
It's hard to say.
Okay.
It's hard to say. I mean, what we're getting this time of year is just these individual cold fronts that are moving down out of Canada. Remember, it's pretty pitch dark in the northern part of Canada, and that air is progressively getting colder and colder and colder, and that's the reason each front that moves through and we get closer into winter, and then of course during winter those blasts of air that move down out of Canada just get progressively colder. But I don't want to say for sure, because you know, we could have this you know, this cool snap that comes this weekend lasting into probably the better part of next week, and you know, then a week after that we could, you know, be well back into the 70s to around 80. So this is kind of a transitional season. You look at spring and you look at fall, those are the two transitional seasons that we have with the up and down swing in the temperatures.
Yeah, well, Masharn said, no rain, cooler, great for football, and that's definitely what we have this week. Well, right now, we'll get a little warmer, and then we'll have to just kind of take it day by day. I am loving this weather, and it's not even just the temperatures, it's the more comfortable, you know, ness about it. It's not as humid, and all that's gone, and it just makes the air easier to breathe, and you know, you just feel better.
Yeah.
The humidity makes a huge difference,
Oh, yeah.
I feel.
Yeah, Jessica weighed in on the HVAC discussion, saying her husband works on HVACs and they are pretty busy now, for sure. Kim said no heat until February for her.
Wow.
How do you do that?
You save money for sure.
That's definitely true.
Maybe
Wow.
blankets, space heaters. I don't know. Kim, let us know your strategy. That's awesome.
You know, I remember it was mid-December last year before I turned my heat on, but I've just got an incredibly well-insulated condo, and I think that helps. And also windows on the south side of my condo, allowing sun, you know, those double pane windows, it really heats up during the day, even though it's cold outside. But I don't know, we'll see how things play out, you know, this winter season as to when I turn the heat on.
Yeah, I can remember Thanksgivings wearing, you know, t-shirts and flip-flops because it's been so warm, and you know, from my childhood, even now in my adulthood, I remember those days. And also, you know, Christmases being warm and having to go, you know, a decade before we had a Christmas snow. Actually, probably longer than that. It doesn't happen often, but you know, who knows?
You know, usually we're going to get snow. Now, we've had exceptions several years ago.
Yeah.
What, on the 1st of December, we got
I do remember
about 8
that.
inches of snow.
It was the 9th of December.
There you go. There you go. Good memory there,
Well,
Tracy.
Simone.
Oh, that's right.
Yes. So
Yeah.
it snowed. I was having Simone. I was, you know, delivering her, and then on her 1-year birthday party, it snowed like a blizzard. Like it was like 12 inches of snow.
Yeah.
And then the following year, we got a little snow right before her birthday, and I was like, of course. I mean, because that's when it snows. It's like.
So I need to consult her before I make
Yeah.
a winter forecast. But
We should have called her Snowmoan.
you know, although we
Like Elsa or
can,
Anna or something.
yeah,
Her favorite movie.
although we can get, you know, winter weather in December, it's really not cold enough until January and February. Those are the 2 months. And you know, some of the biggest snows have come the first couple of weeks in March. That doesn't always happen, but March, again, one of those transitional months where we can have just about anything, especially the first half of March.
Yeah. Oh, that's why I love summer. All right, since we're talking about weather and we've gotten your responses, this is pretty awesome. Let's go ahead and give them one final look at the 7-day before we wrap up.
Yeah, it's seesaw. Yeah, we're up now, or going up, as the temperatures will warm up once we get some sun. A lot of clouds this morning, a little sun this afternoon, but more sunshine tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday, getting us into the low 80s Wednesday and Thursday, mid 80s on Friday. How crazy is that? And then on Saturday, even cracking the 80-degree mark, but probably some late afternoon and evening showers with that cold front moving through. And then you see how the temperatures take a real tumble as we go into Sunday and Monday. 72 on Sunday and struggling to make it to 70 for the high on Monday. And that's with a good bit of sunshine, and Monday morning lows, and probably ditto this for Tuesday as well, will cool into the mid and upper 40s. So it's on the way. It's out in the Rockies now, and it's got to travel to the East Coast, and it'll be here early next week.
Well, welcome to North Carolina, the place where you can get anything.
What they always say, variety vacation land.
Yeah.
Well, it's variety weather land too. Yeah.
I love the combo. All right. Thanks so much for joining us here on After GMS. We have more conversations planned for you for tomorrow and a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We'll have to see what it is, but it's coming.
To be determined. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.